The 4-hour workweek is based off the idea that everyone has the same amount of time. But if we use our time more efficiently, we could produce a whole week's results in only 4 hours. The real message in this book isn't telling us to work 4 hours a week. That's just a trick to getting sidewalkers to buy the book. But yeah, the real message isn't telling us that we could use these strategies and become lazy and only work for 4 hours. No, it's telling us that we can accomplish a lot more if we used our time more effectively. Just a disclaimer, when I said the title is to trick sidewalkers, it's not really a trick per se, because the principles do work. It's just that most people would rather spend 8 hours a day working at their jobs, going home, and sitting in front of the TV than do work that requires using their brains. Okay, let's get started. The 4-hour workweek philosophy is based on 3 strategies to maximize the efficiency of your time. They are elimination, automation, and outsourcing. When I was in university, I remember studying with my friend Anthony. I would read the entire textbook from start to finish because, well, you know, I like to read. And he would only read the topics covered in class. It was a health class, so let's say the professor talked about a specific muscle in the arm. There would be 5 pages on all the different muscles in the arm, and he would skip all of it and only read the 2 paragraphs on that specific muscle, while I would read everything. I don't think he studied more than me in terms of time, but when the test results came out, he got an A, while I got a C+. Anthony understood the concept of elimination. He didn't get a higher mark than me because he used less time to study. He probably studied as long as I did, but he spent more time on the things that were important, while I was reading random crap that's not even covered on the test. A lot of the things we do actually don't affect the outcome by that much. According to the 80-20 principle, 80% of our results come from 20% of the things we do. So that means if we eliminate the things that don't produce a lot of results, we could use that time to do more of the 20% that produces more results. Most people would rather do what they're used to, like me when I read the entire book to study, because it's easy and doesn't require thinking. I just sat down and read the book from start to finish. But if you want results, do what Anthony did. Eliminate. But what if we can't eliminate it? As a kid, I remember watching the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and the main character's dad worked at a toothpaste factory. He would stand there in the assembly line, screwing the caps on the toothpaste tubes. When we think about how silly it seems to have a line of workers screwing the top on toothpaste, it is something we have to do. We can't just eliminate it. Obviously, we don't have workers manually doing that anymore, and that's because our technology allowed us to automate. We have machines now that cap toothpaste for us. The general rule, according to the 4-hour workweek, is if you can't eliminate, automate. A lot of the times, things that could be automated should be automated. Imagine how inefficient it would be to have a bunch of people screwing caps on toothpaste. Not only will we have to pay each worker, someone in the line could be extra slow, and that would affect everyone. Everyone else will have to work at the same pace because he would be stalling the line. Not only that, if someone decides to pick their nose on the job and continues to screw on the caps, that could lead to serious lawsuits when people find boogers in their toothpaste. Just like capping toothpaste tubes, a lot of tasks have to be done and cannot be eliminated. And finally, when you have something that has to be done and cannot be automated, it's time to outsource it. When I say outsource, I'm not referring to outsourcing to another country, although that is quite a common thing, especially in big companies nowadays. I'm saying that as you grow as a person and become better at what you do, you can focus more on the tasks only you could do and let others do the easier tasks for you. When we see multimillionaires, they have drivers, personal chefs, and maids. A poor person would see that as them being lazy. But are they really? Or are they simply using their time effectively by outsourcing? While they're being driven around by their drivers, they could be in the car making business deals or creating content for their next YouTube video. Tasks that will make them more money than the $15 they're paying their drivers. It doesn't have to be about money either. They could have more time to spend with their families and loved ones while someone else cooks dinner for them. When you can't eliminate or automate, then outsource it, only as a last resort. If you can get a robot to cook for you, then go ahead and do that. So to recap, eliminate, automate, and if you can't do those two, then outsource. Whenever you're in doubt, just remember, both Elon Musk and the bum who lives down the street from you have exactly the same number of hours in a day. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed creating it for you. And if you haven't subscribed, you can do it by clicking here. I'll see you again next week with something special.